Hello and welcome. The resignation of K. Annamalai has been accepted by the BJP leadership, and Annamalai has announced that he is going to be starting a political organization. As of now, it appears to be an online organization, and within 1 hour, seems to have garnered more than 1 lakh subscribers or followers. I have with me political analyst Mr. Nandakumar and senior journalist Mr. R.K. Radhakrishnan. First of all, your 60-second reaction to these developments, Mr. Radhakrishnan and then Mr. Nandakumar.
Yeah, I think this is the way to go. In fact, I had when he had announced it, also I had made it a point to say that it's a political movement which will work and not a political party. A very simple reason that whenever you require to change the political movement to a political party, it can be done. It can't be vice versa. It's not possible. You can't change a political party to a political movement. The moment you start a political party, there will be questions asked as to why you are not contesting the local body elections, which is due at any point right now. Then there will be the Lok Sabha elections, and then there will be the assembly elections. Looking at the traction of the political movement, he can decide where he wants to, at which point he wants to convert it into a political party. So all these are advantages of a political movement, and he is relatively free not to answer questions or to answer questions whichever he thinks is fit. But being a political party, he will be forced to react to every single political development, both at the national level and at the state level. So there's a lot of advantage to a political movement, and this is something unique to. I mean, the people have not heard of this. I mean, the last political movement, if my memory serves me right, is the Patali Makal Kachi's movement where it started, felling trees and blocking roads, asking for reservation for 1 year. So 1 year Sangam was the last political movement. After that, I can't think of other political movement.
We had very recently the Cockroach Party, the Bharat Cockroach Party, and that's also something that they call themselves as a political movement. Mr. Nandakumar, your immediate reaction to Annamalai starting this online organization and quitting the BJP?
Tamil Nadu is to see one another political movement and a party sooner. And after this 2026 election, the battlefield has got completely changed because in politics, timing is everything. If Annamalai would have started his own party before the election, the momentum would have been much better. But now he is wanting to play the catch-up game because whatever his slogan, what he announced today is "Let's change to make the change." Recently, Tamil Nadu has witnessed a big change politically and even in the ministerial also. And he is talking about an inclusive and developmental growth politics, which we have seen in the current ministry also, that 8 SC candidates have taken up in the ministerial berth, which includes 2 Brahmin ministers, 4 women ministers, and good representation of minorities. So a clear-cut demonstration of whatever Mr. Annamalai was saying today morning, what he is intent to do in the upcoming is endeavor. This has been witnessed in 2026 through TVK and Mr. Vijay. So that's why I said that Mr. Annamalai is wanting to play the catch-up game. And in politics, not only in business, even in politics, playing the catch-up game is very, very tough, and it calls for great energy, efforts, and sustainability. So as Mr. RK has rightly said, initially is going for the movement just to skip this local body election and also the upcoming 2029 general election, because he cannot go and campaign against Mr. Modi or in favor of Mr. Rahul Gandhi. So he will be in a big crossroads if he could able to start a political party before 2029. So it's a very right strategical movement and decision taken by Mr. Annamalai to start a movement, and after 29 he can convert that into a political party. That's my view.
Many people, in fact, have spoken about the timing of Mr. Annamalai's move, though he has indicated in his resignation letter that this decision he had taken or conveyed to the leadership on the 4th of December 2025, and that he was actually asked to stay on till the end of May, and that's the reason why he's doing this. And there could also be an argument that if he had started before in the tsunami of the TVK and Vijay, his party could have also got blown away as well. Mr. Radhakrishnan, people are very tempted to talk about the inspiration that we have drawn from the TVK and Vijay as well. What do you see as the similarities or dissimilarities? I mean, everyone feels that youth is the kind of the Gen Z is what he's also now appealing to in many ways, saying that very aspirationally, saying we the leaders, we are going to develop leaders everywhere. So those with an aspiration to become leaders should come and join me. What do you see as the similarities and the dissimilarities?
Uh, uh, yeah, obviously, Uma, hindsight is an exact science. So Annamalai can say that he tried to quit earlier and then it did not work and all of that. And then if he had launched, what would have happened? These are all not questions. We can't even use an astrologer these days to figure out what would have happened, which way the future would have unfolded. But one thing is very certain: what Vijay has done is he has brought a huge audience between the ages of say 14 and 45 into the public consciousness, in the sense that this essentially the crowd which was on either video games or is what we call a GEC audience, general entertainment channel audience. So that audience has now come and they are watching news channels and news programs like yourself, and of course they consume a lot of news content. You can see this both in Insta and other places, other social media, also even Facebook and whatnot. That there's a lot more news content in social media only because there's a GEC audience which has moved away from the GEC, entertainment part of it, because they think that news is as much entertainment as actual entertainment is. So that is the crowd that possibly Annamalai can actually tap into, especially the younger part of it. I would even say that 45 is young. But then you ask, in fact, there was a conversation in Frontline where a 22-year-old student was saying something like, you claim that 40-year-olds are representing us youth. How can a 40-year-old person be considered young? So stuff like that also is there. So I think Annamalai can capitalize on the people who have been brought into in a political kind of setup where people actually watch news and are trying to figure out who are the politicians in Tamil Nadu today and whatnot. And probably it's beyond Tamil Nadu. It's a phenomenon beyond Tamil Nadu as well. This is the kind of people that you can actually tap into. But the thing is, that this again a very restless crowd. You cannot just say a movement and not do anything about it. Like for instance, he will have to immediately start a campaign somewhere. See, you can always, for instance, Vijay has said that he's going to close 771 TASMAC retail shops, that is liquor retail outlets. I think only about 250 or something have been closed. So one of the first things that Annamalai can do is to go in front of a shop that Vijay had assured will be closed and it's not closed at this point of time, and can start an agitation. Unless he does direct action, this is a very restless crowd. They will move on. They'll find the next leader to move on. Today it is Vijay, and Vijay's appeal remains. Now it is, you have to bring that audience into your orbit. Not everybody, maybe even 20 or 30% of it. That will be a huge success. He can do that with direct action, and I think the movement will definitely help. So the path is very well laid out. Let's see how he operates and how he operationalizes this whole concept of a movement.
Indeed, as political observers, we would say 42 is certainly young, and Annamalai is certainly perhaps in this for the long run. But like you said, something will have to start on the ground. Some momentum will have to be built up so that there is interest that is sustained in a movement like this. And you'd probably do well to have an advisor like you who's giving ideas on where he can start off to be able to capture people's imagination as well.
We
Nandakumar, you
don't
were
get
talking
along.
about
We don't
you're
get along,
talking
so it's
about
okay.
uh, you
Uh,
know, starting a political online organization gives him time, but Annamalai has already said that we will be fighting elections and we will be training people, whether it's local body elections or otherwise. Uh, all of us understand that Annamalai, while he has his fans and admirers and online presence, which is huge as well, he is no Vijay. So to be able to sustain it, if he's wanting to do it in the long run, that seems a little bit of a challenge, isn't it? I mean, the DMK is still not a party that anyone can write off. ADMK certainly seems to be a crumbling party, but it still has a huge presence.
Yeah, of course, Annamalai is having both opportunities as well as challenge ahead of him. The biggest challenge is that whomsoever was his audience before he submitted his resignation, all those audience have got changed their status now. They are with TVK. So now, the first thing what Annamalai has to do, the biggest challenge is that he has to set the tag of BJP behind him. That is the biggest challenge what Annamalai will be having, to make the common man in Tamil Nadu to believe that he is not a BJP guy. Because already there is a saying in Tamil Nadu political arena that he is going to start his movement and party with the blessings of BJP. Because BJP is not believing DMK and ADMK anymore. Because if you see, ADMK in 1996, they were having only 4 MLA seats. After 1996, this is their lowest MLA. So ADMK was behind 30 years. And if you take DMK in 2011, they were having 23 seats. After 15 years, this is their lowest. So DMK and ADMK are 15 and 30 years behind respectively in terms of MLAs representing in the assembly. So he is having an opportunity to grab the opposition political space is very much there for Annamalai with his aggressive political nature, which we have seen in Tamil Nadu during his presidentialship in BJP. But the biggest challenge what he is having is that how he is going to make himself completely rid of that BJP tag. That itself, it will take him at least 2 to 3 years to shed that tag. Because no, if a cadre changes the party, it's okay. You know how much Annamalai was adherent to the party's political ideology, principles, and whatever the thing BJP says. So it is not just a overnight shift is possible, and people will immediately come and say, "Yeah, come here comes a person who is completely a new guy." So that's not practically viable in Tamil Nadu politics, because in Tamil Nadu always people see the politicians with a skepticism spectacle, more rather than welcoming them with two extended arms. So that is the biggest challenge Annamalai is having. And again, this is the change what Annamalai was trying to make, is to bring the youth into the politics. Now, if you see the 17th Tamil Nadu Assembly, there are 49 MLAs less than 40 years, which is 21 percentage of the assembly is filled with youth. Whereas in the 16th Assembly last time, it was only just 14 MLAs, which is just 6 percentage of the overall MLA. Now, if you take the ministry, out of 35 ministers, 12 ministers are within 40 years of age, which is 34 percentage of ministry is represented by youth in Tamil Nadu. So whatever Mr. Annamalai is talking about, the change he wanted to bring in, that's what, as I said, already this has been demonstrated and proved by TVK in this particular 2026 election. And that's why I said that the battleground is not before May 4th. The battleground has completely got changed. The road ahead of Mr. Annamalai is a great challenging road, but obviously it provides an opportunity also. As I said, DMK and ADMK are at their lowest point in the last 2 to 3 decades. So these are all the path I think Annamalai would have visualized. And so he is initially coming up with the movement, and again he's saying training the people, developing the people. See, this is a long process. You cannot enter
Yeah.
into a politics
Yeah.
with an ideal team. Idealism can never be achieved in any walk of life. Now you see Vijay, for example, 2 years, 4 months, everybody was criticizing Vijay that there is no cadre, no political setup, no candidate is known to anybody. Even Mr. Vijay doesn't know about ideology, this, that, everything. But within 2 years and 4 months, he could able to make a tectonic shift, throwing 76 years old DMK and 53 years old ADMK behind. So there is no ideal time for anyone to enter the politics to make the swing, because this is what Mr. Rajinikanth was also saying earlier, that you guys make a wave, then I will come into politics. Once wave is created, what is the need for a leader or anyone to come into the politics? The greater responsibility of the leader is getting into the field and creating the wave. Not someone will create a wave so that the leader will come and enjoy that wave. So all I'm saying is that the road ahead is both providing both opportunities as well as challenges to Mr. Annamalai. And this is
Yeah.
going to be not an easy journey, because so far Mr. Annamalai, whatever he is known to the entire world or even in the Tamil Nadu, because of media focus and the institutional backup which was provided by the ruling central government BJP. Let's not forget that. Once when he comes
Yeah.
out of that, will he be gaining that privileges, media focus, institutional backup, whatever? Is that is what we have to wait and watch how Mr. Annamalai is going to take it up forward.
Yeah, so many issues that you have thrown up. One, of course, which we have been talking about, the fact that whether Mr. Annamalai can maintain his brand and grow, develop an organization or even a party without the backing of an organization and the resources that the BJP presence in the BJP would have given him. But I want to bring this to another point. The fact that there is going to be always a suspicion that Annamalai is doing some kind of a backdoor entry for the BJP. How valid is that? Because even what we may have seen as an exit interview goes and meets the BJP leadership, the BJP president, and Mr. Amit Shah, and have they given them his blessings and said, okay, you go and do your own thing and develop a party there? That is going to be not an easy challenge for him, isn't it? Even now he says, I admire. It's easy for him to oppose the state BJP leadership. But will he be able to oppose Mr. Narendra Modi or his policies, what he says, Mr. RK?
No, I don't think that he will oppose Narendra Modi as a person. He will definitely oppose the policies, because it is very important for him to be seen as, of course, right of center, and at the same time standing for Tamil rights. So these are the two planks that he has already said that the party will focus on. So what are the issues in Tamil rights? One is, of course, three-language policy, which is already spoken, and he has made it very clear that he stands for the two-language policy. Now, the thing is that the BJP government cannot give in to this two-language policy right now, because Annamalai is making the demand. Then it will seem as if that BJP is playing footsie with Annamalai. So that is effectively open and shut case. So which means that there will be no PM Shri money coming into Tamil Nadu, and which will create additional problems for the ruling TVK regime here, because they'll be short of another 2,000 odd crores. Which goes into the education kitty. They'll have to find that money from somewhere else. And as it is, they are not they're just unable to find money to finance even few of the schemes that they want to actually do, including the farm loan waiver and all of that. So they're going to be in deep trouble. And the three-language policies will be thrust upon Tamil Nadu, and let's see how any agitation or something comes out. Now that this is one thing that we'll have to very interesting watch very interestingly, because if the three-language policy is being forced on Tamil Nadu, then I don't see the ADMK making too much of a noise. Of course, it will give a press release and then sit back. I don't see the DMK being too much interested in fighting it here, because they have fought it for 15 years. So they can always rely on history and say that, okay, we have always done that and we will do it in the future and keep quiet. But so that actually lays the ground for Annamalai to actually come out and hold agitations across the state, even violent ones, and then make sure that he has some kind of momentum. And we will also see that the TVK is extremely, walking on eggshells, not knowing which side of the argument to take, because they definitely oppose the three-language policy. But the point is that they will not hold an agitation. They are in government. There are extremely, huge limitations on what kind of agitations they can hold. This is one thing. You take NEET, for instance. Annamalai has made it very clear that he's against NEET suddenly, obviously, after defending it all these years. But the point is that now he's against NEET, and what happens as a result of that? You had exam paper leak and CBSE leaks and all of that. So if he goes hammer and tongs on these issues again, you will see that the DMK is on the same side. The ADMK reluctantly, of course, but then at the same time, it wants to be at the right side of agitation, so it will be on the same side as well. And you will see that the TVK again is left alone. So you will have Annamalai, kind of raising these issues, obviously the hot topics, because this affects youth. 17.8 lakh when it comes to CBSE, another 18-19 lakhs who've done NEET, and CUET, Common University Entrance Test for the UG level as well.
So he will actually end up opposing the BJP, isn't it? TVK is not left alone, because TVK will be with him in all these issues. All Tamil Nadu is on one side, or the people of the country would be on one side, and actually questioning the BJP leadership on all these issues, whether it is the NEET or the CBSE, the decisions that have been taken, and the way the exam leaks have happened, the OSM, and so on.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, see, these are the agitations that he will have to literally get onto the ground and muddy his boots or legs or whatever, and that is what will make a difference. See, everybody is agitated about this. Everybody is on social media agitating about this. There is no real agitation on the ground against in a CBSE issue or whatever. Of course, some students try to get out in Delhi, and we know what happened. They were all bundled into a van and taken to the nearest police station. If he starts the agitation here, I mean, the thing is that the danger with this kind of agitations is that you have absolutely no control where it will stop. Like Jallikattu, for instance, somebody started it, it never stopped anywhere else. So the thing is that with something like CBSE or NEET, it can even start a fire across the nation. So that is the danger of this agitation. But then Annamalai will have to necessarily go down that road because his catchment is again young people. So if your catchment is young people, you have to take young people issues. What are the young people issues? It's NEET, it's CBSE, it is CUT, UG, and all of that at this point of time. Then of course joblessness, of course. But then these three are actually burning issues. People really want to come out and agitate and throw a few stones at somebody. So if I think he's going to do this, and from there you will see that the bunch of cases will be filed against him and all that, and then you will see that he's seen as an anti-BJP guy. So that is probably the space he also wants to take. And at the same time, you'll also notice that there is also a backward caste consolidation happening in Tamil Nadu, where again he stands to benefit because he is from the counter caste and he has made no bones to hide that at all, and he has tried to actually feast off it. So there is that consolidation happening. There is also the fertile land to agitate at this point of time. I think it's a win-win for Annamalai if he stays the course, but he's a very restless leader. I'm not very sure how much of staying power he has. How much can he push forward, say, I mean, is it possible to do country agitations for a year? That's the question in front of Annamalai.
Very true, and you're right that TVK, in a sense, because they are in government and they have the responsibility of maintaining law and order, and therefore agitations like these, they will have to be not allowing it to go out of control, and that becomes their responsibility, and therefore he becomes the anti-establishment, I guess. But the elephant in the room, perhaps, is this entire optics that has been created by Annamalai quitting the BJP. Doesn't it that leave the BJP very embarrassed, actually, because you're saying BJP cannot get a foothold or cannot make inroads into Tamil Nadu? I would like RK as well as Nandakumar to respond.
Yeah, obviously there's no BJP in Tamil Nadu right now, right? So I mean, there is a party, there's a registered office and all of that. But Nainar, I mean, like I actually was on the side of Nainar, so to speak, to make him president because I thought this was a decent guy. He's not like Annamalai, he's not brash, he's not outspoken. At the same time, he's a organization guy who can actually build an organization. But he fell very short of that target, and he didn't do well. I mean, he couldn't win his own city. If he was in Tirunelveli, he would have actually won. But he got very agitated and upset with the fact that he lost the election when he contested in 2024 for the Lok Sabha in Tirunelveli. Then he moved to Satur, where again, complete mistake. I mean, complete misreading of the situations, complete misreading of the electorate in Satur itself. So that's what happened with. Right now, there is no party, and Annamalai is definitely going to take away the bright and the best and the brightest from the BJP into the movement or political party, whatever he's trying to create at this point of time. And that will be the BJP's loss. There is nothing in the BJP today. And yes, completely, and it's egg on the face for the BJP. But then, the BJP is such a resilient party as of today, as of now, with Modi and Amit Shah at the helm, that they don't mind, being seen as the villains. If it means that Annamalai can get a backdoor entry, even if it means that, agitating against the BJP, calling BJP names, BJP actually raiding him and stuff like that, so on and so forth. All these things I think will happen, and there will be a huge build-up during the 3 years. And let's not forget that Sunil Gonagulu is a very dear friend of Annamalai, and that factor also will play. I mean, despite the fact that Sunil is with the Congress at this point of time.
Also, we have seen examples in other states, isn't it, where you kind of have a breakaway and then you can come back to the main party or be aligned with the main party, like it has happened in Maharashtra. We have seen Sharad Pawar. Your comments on that, Mr. Nandakumar? Is it that's a real possibility, isn't it, that the BJP allows him to grow and then ultimately you could be aligned with the BJP at a later stage?
Yeah, anything is possible in politics. So it's always said that politics is an art of possibilities. So we cannot rule out any alliances or going back home. Nothing is ruled out. And it all depends on the patience and sustenance of Mr. Annamalai, how he is taking up the party, whether he want to fight the election solo or in alliance with other parties. Now even there is a talk that DMK is moving closer towards BJP, and there is no surprise that BJP will be taking up a ministry in. DMK is taking up a ministerial position in BJP's government before this year end. So how the table is going to be turning, we need to wait and watch. And once if we wanted to look at BJP, I don't want to undermine BJP, because even before Annamalai, BJP was in existence, and even after Annamalai, BJP will be in existence. And to say in particular, Annamalai was identified by BJP, and BJP has invested a lot on Annamalai to bring him up to this kind of the position in politics what Annamalai is with. Even if you wanted to talk about BJP's electoral performance, in 2024 they fought 23 MP seats on their symbol and they secured 11.33 percentage of vote share alone. Now they have contested, including their alliance parties, 33 MLA seats and secured 2.97 percentage of vote. So people are talking that BJP has got demolished. But let us understand, 23 MP seat is equal to 138 assembly seats in Tamil Nadu. If you do a pro rata of these 2.97 percentage of votes which they have got in the 33 seats and converted to 138, it is equal to 12.42 percentage. So the vote share is only possible when you contest in more number of seats. But this time, Bharatiya Janata's agenda was more than the vote share. They wanted to have a seat share in the assembly, so which has got completely failed. So let's not underestimate. And again, even if you take on the face value of just a percentage, there is nothing more for BJP to lose. So they are also at the base level, which they have to start from. So any political party, because just I wanted to look into the example of West Bengal. Just before 3 assembly elections, they were zero. Now they are ruling party with a massive power in West Bengal. So undermining BJP is also very dangerous for any other political party in a state. So that's why I said that even yesterday, Mr. Girish Chodankar, Congress person, was making a statement. We cannot estimate what BJP is talking and what BJP is strategizing. It is very difficult to understand BJP. This is what the statement made by Girish Chodankar. So we don't know how this political rollout by BJP is happening in Tamil Nadu, which we need to just wait and watch. So no political party is to be ruled out. Everybody is having their own strengths and weaknesses. Yeah.
Then they perhaps need to develop their own grassroots leaders, and that leadership has to come from Tamil Nadu in many senses, and more importantly, placing themselves in that ideological framework of Tamil Nadu Dravidianism to the Hindutva. They'll have to find reinvent perhaps a new platform. But both of you had referred to the youth vote and TVK and Vijay as inspiration, but obviously the youth vote is very limited in those numbers. We can say it is the driving force, but it's limited. Wouldn't you think what Annamalai is trying to do is actually more like the Aam Aadmi Party, because he's talking about we, the leaders, and talking about the common people in many senses, because he also talks about his own humble beginnings, and that's where his letter mentions that his hope was that even if you're from humble beginnings, you could rise as a leader or join politics as well. So the similarities with the Aam Aadmi Party as well, creating that aspiration, Arkin.
See, it's about, I mentioned OBC consolidation is happening in Tamil Nadu, and then Annamalai will reap part of that benefit. But see, that is the actually easier part of it, because it is it's about a caste base. That's it. Now, the other part, reaching out to the youth, younger people, that's the very difficult part. So you have to hold their attention for longer spans of time, for longer periods of time. Caste doesn't have that issue at all. Caste, you belong to a caste, I'll support you. End of story. So that's where this distinction has to necessarily be made. So as long as Annamalai has got his caste combination right, his NBC OBC combination right, I think him to be a potent force. And AAP is much more what to say, an urban phenomenon. That kind of urbanness cannot actually work in Tamil Nadu, where there are far too many underlying factors, including an agrarian crisis which will hit this year, El Nino year, and then you have this vast fishermen's community which right now is has gone with Vijay, largely Christian, obviously. So see, disillusionment will set in about a year's time. So who is going to be there to harvest it? Who is going to be there on the ground to harvest it? Edapadi Panichami is not as young as Annamalai is. NK Stalin is old. So and Uday is seen as a dynast. So it's very difficult for an Uday to actually cultivate that road. So Annamalai has this actual the space cut out. The entire field is open to him for him to move in and then cash in on whatever is happening. And Vijay can't do that either. I mean, we have seen Vijay hardly did, in fact, the total number of appearances was 20, and the entire number of speeches they did before the election was 35, and the only time he has appeared outside now was in Trichy. So he's not even going to Perambur to thank the people who voted for him. So there are severe limitations for each of the leaders that you see, barring, of course, Kanimuri, who can reach out to the women vote. Again, you know how difficult it is for men to accept a woman as their leader. Of course, Jayalalitha was an exception, Indira Gandhi was an exception, but Kanimuri is not possibly a leader in that mold. So that also is a drawback. So the field is cut out, the field is ready for him. So it's for Annamalai to take advantage of what is there. So as long as he makes lesser number of mistakes, I think Annamalai will definitely show percentage. He wants to contest the first elections on his own, so he'll definitely show the percentage, and then probably move to one of the alliances, and from there, obviously, he'll make his outreach to the BJP if the BJP is still in power in Delhi.
So while TVK and Vijay are still in the honeymoon period, he perhaps has to wait for some amount of disillusionment to set in for any movement to happen towards Annamalai. Of course, he has his own followers who are now going to be with him and provide the initial impetus. But do you see 2031 as with the generational change as well in the DMK possibly a Vijay versus an Annamalai versus an Udayanidhi?
It's obviously going to be Vijay versus Annamalai versus Udayanidhi. I don't know if Stalin will concede that amount of space, and Stalin, even if he's not young, you should remember that Karnanidhi was president even when he was, I think, 89. So then you had a working president in MK Stalin who took over the reins later on. So I don't see Stalin conceding space, and he's still a father figure, a kind of statesman in Tamil Nadu. So it will definitely be a fight between Vijay, if he lasts that long, against Annamalai. And I see Annamalai lasting out this battle, and he's a very determined person also, and extremely ambitious, very determined, very hardworking. So he's going to be around. We have to see who else will be left in the field. I think Annamalai is certainly there. If Vijay decides to be there, it's good for him. Otherwise, of course, it's going to be a fight where
Vijay is in the chief minister's chair. You can't say he's not going to be there. Vijay is in the chief minister's chair as of now, and doesn't look like he can be shaken very easily. Mr. Nandakumar, some people have said Annamalai could become a Seaman. How do you react to that?
No, my point is that let us not underestimate Mr. Seaman. He is the one person, the party which talks about ideology very strong, and they are raising a very good thing. But somehow electoral management and electoral compromises they are not ready to make like any other normal political parties. That is their only what do you say, their negative aspects. But they wanted to stay on their own legs. So that is what they are into. So my submission is that let's not underestimate Seaman and his force. They are politically, ideologically very strong, and they have a very strong followers for that. And as far as Annamalai is
That
concerned,
surely, I
is
mean, I
no.
concede that, but more than, one is ideological, but politics is all about electoral success as well, isn't it?
Yes, that's what the only game which they are very reluctant to enter in. So that is their, from our views, it is a weakness, but their views, they are saying that is their strength. So Annamalai is known for playing the opposition politics very well when he was in BJP. And now, as you said, honeymoon period. From my point of view, there is no honeymoon period for TVK, because they have inherited the DMK's government, which was very much deteriorated in terms of debt, in terms of law and order, in terms of drugs, in terms of especially ganja, and in terms of corruption. So from the day one, Mr. Vijay's government has to be on the game like 2020 match. It's no more a test match in politics nowadays. And they are doing their things well. Every day on the media, you could able to see many people coming around and saying that how they are trying to put a full stop to this kind of a corruption commission. All these every day, some association or other are coming from various departments. They are coming and meeting the ministers, and they are very happy the way how these contracts are yet to be finalized, and how the government is going to take up these new contracts, all these things. So they are playing their games well. They have started well, and if they could able to make this government stronger in the coming days, and if they, even if they could not able to do an extraordinary performance, but if they could able to TVK, if they could able to give a very decent performance in the next 5 years, it is very very difficult for any political party to unseat TVK. So because that is why the reasons I have told, whatever the changes, even Mr. RK was saying that Annamalai could able to make OBC politics. But in this recently concluded election, if you see, the people have voted beyond caste, beyond religion, beyond money power. So, no, because nobody knows which candidate is from which caste or community from TVK's side. All they voted for is a change, because to that an extent a great degree of anti-incumbency was there, and they wanted a change. So Mr. Vijay could able to break that barrier of caste, religion and money power in politics. So if people, in a way, this is an advantage for Annamalai if he wanted to go in that route what Mr. Vijay has laid down. But if Annamalai wanted to take the route of OBC caste-based politics, then definitely it will not be an advantage for Annamalai. And again, whichever the party has started playing the caste-based politics, initial momentum may be there. As Mr. RK was saying, the people who are aligned with their caste than any ideology, they will immediately come behind you. But that population is very, very meager. You can have a sudden spike, but after that, it is too difficult for any political leader to gain the momentum, which is what we are seeing across the parties, which they have laid their foundation based on their caste representation or religious representation, which we have been witnessing. And it's good for Mr. Annamalai. Let him not choose that way. With a lot of struggle over the past 60 years, at least now in 2026, that has been broken in terms of at least in an electoral politics, even from social, this kind of a religious and caste stigma has to be thrown out, which is a long-term innings every political party has to play. So that is what just I am
Caste
saying.
perhaps cannot be still wished away in Indian politics as yet, at least. And when Mr. RK was referring to the TVK, spoke about fisherman community and referred to the religious denomination as well, which helped him in being able to garner some of the votes. But one last question that I want to ask you. In his letter, Annamalai in fact said national parties never spoke the language that people of Tamil Nadu understood and have tried to change that belief and also found reasonable success despite whatever the obstructions inside and outside, he says, and therefore he says our views didn't align. So does that ultimately mean that national parties in Tamil Nadu are really not going to have that space to be serious political contenders? Of course, Congress is part of the coalition government there, but the BJP still is a party that's been left by its most identifiable face, perhaps now. RK?
the defining problem of the BJP is that it is centrally controlled and everything comes from Delhi. It's like a centralized kitchen from where food goes out to all the outlets in a city. So there cannot be any variety in it at all. And that has worked for the BJP. It's a Hindutva agenda, right-wing agenda, and rash it up right-wing wherever it is required. Wherever there is a Muslim population of between 20% and 30%. That's how BJP's kitchen works. Congress kitchen, absolute chaos all over the place. There is really no central theme coming out of it, barring the whatever UP or Bihar leaders sitting in the 24 Akbar Road decide. That has been Congress's thing. Obviously, they have been found wanting. Slightly better has been the messaging of the Communist Party, particularly the CPIM. They've been able to create a narrative in Kerala. They've been able to create a narrative in Bengal. Of course, this is all over now, and Tripura. So they have catered to something. They got something right. So there is a lesson to be learned from how the communists have handled these three states. But others, absolutely no way. The national parties, there's a huge contradiction, right? Congress party, what stand does it take on Kaveri, for instance? Manika Thakur says one thing here. He didn't attend the swearing in of DK because DK has made some noise on Meghadev. But this is the same party. You can resolve it by making a one call to Rahul Gandhi, and Rahul Gandhi will just tell DK, please keep quiet because our election is only in 2028. We need to start rationing up the Kaveri only then. It's very easy. But then the Congress party is so dysfunctional that it can't even do the simple thing. So every single state has Mullaperiyar. I mean, what stand does Congress take? Congress is in power in Tamil Nadu, Congress is in power in Kerala. It is impossible to take a stand. So that these contradictions will be there. BJP also will face the same thing. When BJP was in power in Karnataka and the national leadership could not do a thing about when we were asking about Kaveri or any of the other substantive issues between Tamil Nadu and Kerala. There's a huge issue between Andhra and Karnataka. There's a even bigger issue between Maharashtra and Karnataka, and both are BJP in power in Maharashtra. Even when the BJP was in power, do much. So this is where we stand at this point of time. Obviously, messaging cannot work for national parties, and it can only work for a regional party because a regional party, by definition, does not need to cater to something in another region. Simple.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. RK, as well as Nandakumar, for joining us on DeKoder and sharing your perspectives and the road ahead for Annamalai. Thank you.